Tonight on What's NXT, we've got Io Shirai and Candice LeRae versus Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir with Shayna Baszler lurking. We've got Kushida versus Drew Gulak. Match number 2, this is a submissions match. And in the main event, we've got Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong of the Undisputed Era versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, now collectively known as the Brit and Bruisers. This sounds like a pretty fucking good show. I've got some bad fucking news for you though, folks.
Support, no DQ.
Stay tuned.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to What's NXT for June 12th, 2019. I am your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stephen Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good morning, wrestling fans.
And this morning, our episode basically is more throwaway than throwaway.
Yeah.
They taped this episode. We are in Bel Air, Maryland.
Yeah.
This is a house show for all intents and purposes. And they taped 3 matches for it. And then we're going to move back to Full Sail next week.
Yeah.
Like, this is the throwaway of throwaways. And I hope that the live crowd in Bel Air, Maryland got more than these 3 matches.
Yeah.
I really, really hope. But if they got better matches, why the fuck didn't we? Because other than, and God help me, Kushida versus Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
There was really nothing of substance here.
No.
The main event had a lot of action, but
nothing
no substance.
Nothing we had already seen between the two.
And the opening match had a little bit of substance and no fucking action. So, mixed bag here, but we're going to do the best that we can. We start the show off with Candice LeRae and Io Shirai coming out to just Candice LeRae's music. Or was it just Io Shirai's?
Oh no, they came out to Candice LeRae's music, then
Okay.
she pointed, and then Shirai came out with her music.
Did it switch just that quickly? Okay,
Yeah.
so this is how boring this show was to me. I didn't even fucking miss it. So, Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir come out. What I did notice is I believe they have new music.
Yeah.
Because they are not coming out to Shayna Baszler's music, and it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, it's pretty fucking good. But they come out and Baszler is with them, but Shayna ends up staying on the stage to watch the match from afar. She doesn't leave, not like Gallus does.
Yeah, she's just there more or less to observe and possibly coach later.
I've got several notes for this match. What did you think about it, though?
What I really wanted to see was Duke and Shafir actually pick up a win.
No kidding.
But at the same time,
At least they didn't pick up a loss.
they didn't pick up a loss. There's not another loss here, so that was actually, that brought me a little bit of comfort.
You know what? Maybe they did pick up a loss. I honestly don't know how this match ended. The bell rang.
Yeah, it was a double count out. But pretty much the match was thrown out because, well,
Yeah, but nobody announced that.
No.
It could have just been completely thrown out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The match was just thrown out because
No contest.
Yeah, no contest.
All right, so my first note here is Duke and Shafir working over Candice LeRae. This is your typical babyface tag team versus heel tag team. Candice gets the brunt of the beatdown. Actually, not Jessamyn Duke. Marina Shafir is starting to look really good.
Yeah.
With some of her moves, her strikes. She does it's sort of a crossbow back-breaking submission. I don't know what to call this. But it's like a strong bow across her back.
Yeah.
Around to her front. And Jerry said, I bet she learned that from her husband.
Yes.
Because he knows every way there is to hurt your back. Io gets the hot tag, though, eventually. She comes in, she hits a 619, she hits a fucking springboard from the apron into the ring, shotgun drop kick.
Yeah.
And then, as Baszler is looking on, she puts Duke's arm back behind her.
Yeah.
And sets her up for the Baszler stomp. What I call the Baszler stomp.
She called it the reality check. Then.
Yeah. I'm still going to call it the Baszler stomp. Even though I believe Pete Dunne did it first, I think Shayna Baszler does it better.
Yeah.
So, that's just me. So, Io hits the Baszler stomp on Duke. And then immediately Shayna comes down to the ring and pulls Duke out.
Yeah.
And this is basically where the match goes nowhere. We see a couple of good spots. Io Shirai gets on the top. I think it was the top rope. Hits a moonsault onto... I know she hit Baszler. She might have hit Jessamine Duke as well.
Yes.
But then Candice LeRae comes off of one ropes, runs to the other, does a suicide dive outside onto Duke and Shafir. You know, now that I mention it, this match actually did have...
It devolved into a pretty decent brawl is what it did.
But it had no ending.
Well, pretty much all we saw was Shafir and Duke working over Candice LeRae at the end, and Baszler and Shirai went behind the curtain fighting, and that was it.
Yeah, and all the while there's a bunch of refs and people trying to break all of this up, and they're having no success.
Nope.
But it lets us know that the refs are there.
Mm-hmm.
After this match, we get a video recap of Velveteen Dream versus Tyler Breeze at TakeOver 25. And this is just there to set up precedent for the Velveteen Dream selfie promo that we see, which is kind of like the answer to Tyler Breeze's promo where he was being interviewed by fucking somebody last week. And Dream just says that it's solid, it's beautiful, it can go on forever, and it deserves the spotlight. And he says, no, it's not the title. It's me.
Yep.
What do you think about Dream here, man?
I think it's just a quick self-indulgent promo that said absolutely nothing, and he's good at those.
Him and Gibson, man.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Gibson is, you should watch our NXT parties on Fridays. After this, we get a video recap of Kushida versus Drew Gulak from 2 weeks ago, and this is setting up our next match, which is supposed to be next, but we do get commercials, and then we get a video package for Damian Priest. This is a different video package than the ones we've been seeing. This is showing the personal side of Damian Priest, which happens to be really fucking cool if you think that kind of lifestyle is. He's going out. He's around the chicks, man.
He looks like he's going into the freaking Viper room in like L.A.
Yeah, he's badass, man. The snake pit. The snake hole.
Yeah, probably the snake pit.
So, I'm looking forward to Damian Priest. It's funny because I didn't really give a shit about him as Punishment Martinez.
It's funny what a name change will do for somebody.
I don't think it's just the name change, even though it is a brilliant name.
Yeah.
Love the name.
Yeah.
Can't believe they scored the name Damian Priest.
Yeah.
That is on the nose, but at the same time, it flows off the tongue so well that it doesn't matter that it's on the nose. Love that name.
Yeah.
Love the video package. Hopefully, this pays off.
Yeah.
With Triple H's track record, I would say this will, but Damian Priest, man. So up next is our second match of the night. We only get three, the three that we knew about coming in. We've got Kushida versus Drew Gulak, and this is match number 2, submissions match. And, I mean, even you said it. Kushida's still not losing.
No. But this was actually way better, I think, probably because the fact it was a stipulation match. And they showed the recap of the last one, and sure enough, Drew Gulak was not really complaining about the loss as much as he was complaining about the way he lost.
Right.
Because he was trying to say, like Kushida's saying he's the best submission grappler in that company right now, and he pins Drew Gulak. I think kind of umbrage to that too. So
I don't. It's a fucking match, man.
Yeah, it's like, but
it was a mostly boring match.
But
to be quite honest,
and you think Kushida was like, it's like it's not about this in this match. It's about this. So this time we actually do get a submission match, and I liked it. It actually kept my attention. I liked the submissions. I liked the reversals. In the end, Kushida actually got the win and also got the begrudging. We'll go ahead and call it begrudging respect out of Gulak.
Well, the most I'll say about the submission part of this match, which was the majority of the match, is that it was some fun chain wrestling.
Yeah.
If you can get into a match that's nothing but fun chain wrestling, this is a match for you. Because the stuff that wasn't was only a couple of minutes, and a few strikes. We saw a drop kick out of Drew Gulak. I thought, no fly zone. You got to jump off your feet for that shit. Just saying. Kushida with a handspring elbow a la Tajiri.
Yep.
Somehow I just developed a stutter over the last minute or so. Tajiri.
Tajiri.
We saw Drew Gulak with this inverted scoop slam.
Yep.
That was cool. I mean, I wrote it down, so obviously I haven't seen that before. And then he picks him up and pulls him into a gory special, an especial.
Yeah.
And
turns into a freaking Bowflex is what he does. Just starts working him over, grabs him by the wrist, brings him in closer. Actually turns almost like a modified Boston Crab type thing at one point.
Yeah, so I noticed here all of my notes are after the match starts actually getting physical, as opposed to just the fun chain wrestling.
Yeah.
I think the fact that this was a submission match took away from some of that chain wrestling, because there was one point where they both went back and forth like twice, rolling each other up like they were stacking up for a pinfall, but trading it into like you were doing a pinfall out of a sit-out powerbomb.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you call that, but
a sit-out powerbomb pin.
It would have been fine in a match that had pinfalls.
Yeah.
But even the commentary said, I don't know what they're doing. There's no pinfalls in this match. Fucking duh.
Mm-hmm.
So some of that chain wrestling, I think they should have not done here. But I guess they were going for spots they thought were cool, and it was fun.
It was good for a dizzying effect, and that's about it.
So Kushida had some good moves towards the end. He does this hip toss where Gulak's coming off the ropes. Hip toss, but then cartwheels through it and drops him with a drop kick to his face. That was cool. They were on the apron, trading strikes, and then Gulak tries to get Kushida up for an electric chair, but then he spins around and Rana's fucking Gulak over the top rope back into the ring. They both had a pretty ugly fall.
That was a gnarly bump because he landed, Gulak landed right on Kushida's chest.
The end of this match comes with a soccer kick to the arm, which stands up Drew Gulak, and then Kushida comes off the ropes and then does that spinny shit. Not the flippy shit, the spinny shit around Drew Gulak like somebody would do for like a head scissors takedown.
Yeah.
This case, he follows it down to the mat with that hoverboard
lock.
Yeah, which is basically, it's a version of the Kimura, but on the mat where he's sitting up. I don't know how else to describe it.
Gulak taps
almost immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are protecting this move. I liked the spots I wrote down and everything in between, but 80% of the match up to that point, I'm just like, sure, it's fun, but I'm not into it. Different strokes for different folks, though, man.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty excellent. And then at the end, you have Gulak or Kushida actually trying to get the handshake and whatnot. Gulak gets all in his face about it. It's like, pretty much, you beat me. All right, you won. Congratulations. Here, a handshake.
Yeah, because at first Kushida goes for the handshake, but Gulak just physically takes him and throws his hand down. He's like, I'm telling you something, and I can't read what he's saying on his lips or nothing, but it looks like he's super pissed off. But he's like, but you beat me, and he puts out his hand, and they have the handshake. And this way, I think Gulak can do the handshake of respect without turning babyface.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like,
I like that.
He's like, it's like, you don't shake my hand, okay? I shake yours.
I shake your hand, yeah.
You don't reach out.
I do. So after this match, we've got a promo, and this is back at Full Sail outside, where it is beautiful looking.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne, speaking of beautiful looking, they're talking about Mia Yim. Because obviously now that Mia Yim has got 2 wins to 1 over Bianca Belair, who is a former contender for the NXT Women's Championship, now Mia Yim is being talked about as the next #1 contender.
Yeah.
And they take exception to this, and I'm like, why? Your only really recent wins have been as a tag team. Maybe you guys should be going after the Iconics. But I guess this gives Mia Yim something to do until they will put her in the ring with whoever is the women's champion by then.
Yep.
It might be Io Shirai for all we know. But gives her something to do for a couple of weeks. My hope is that they don't drop the fact that she is being talked about as a #1 contender Normally they don't,
Mm-hmm.
but this is WWE logic. NXT is still WWE. And I hope that they don't put Mia Yim into this and then forget about that, because I want her to go against Shayna Baszler, and I want her to lose and go back to the rest of the division. Get it out of there. Don't have this standing over her head.
One of the first cold opens we ever did was Mia Yim able to knock out Shayna Baszler. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the endless laugh.
Yeah. No.
So, while talking about Mia Yim, of course they're insulting her, and Vanessa Bourne has got a few books there to help her out.
The Fashion Bible, The Beginner's Book of English, and Grammar for Dummies.
Yes.
And she said if you visited Mia Yim's Twitter page, you can see why she needs them.
So this is fine with me. Not a bad promo, actually.
They did quite well with this. So I guess it's setting up for at least Aaliyah versus Mia Yim.
I hope she takes on both of them, and I hope she beats them and gets some momentum going into getting beaten by Shayna Baszler.
Mm-hmm.
So after this, the reason we say that Io Shirai could be the NXT Women's Champion by the time Mia Yim meets whoever the champion is, in 2 weeks' time we are going to get the rematch, Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai. This is going to be in a steel cage.
Yeah.
And it is for the title, and that's it, just an announcement. Nothing big.
No.
I look forward to 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Not because of Io Shirai by any stretch, but I love watching Shayna Baszler defend the title. After this, we get a video recap of Mansoor at Super Showdown winning the 50-man Battle Royal, and his clips from his interview after that. And sure, why not? Mansoor is technically NXT/NXT UK.
So congratulations, Mansoor. You kind of screwed me on point on that one.
Man, if I'd have known he was going to be in that match, I might have picked him.
Oh, so did I. Plus also the fact that my other pick was Elias.
Yeah, that killed me. My number one pick was Elias.
Yeah.
I'd have gotten 3 points.
Yeah.
But if I'd have known Mansoor was in it, I would have put him at least one of the 3.
Yeah.
Because
that's why I went with Mustafa Ali.
But see, Mustafa Ali is close, but not the same spot.
Yeah.
Mansoor is that's his
just
fucking
full-on,
hometown,
yeah.
man.
That's just no fair.
So after that, we get a video recap of Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole from NXT TakeOver 25. And basically the only reason they're showing that is to remind you that, yeah, that happened. And
next week, we're graced by the champion at Full Sail.
Yep, the first appearance of Adam Cole on NXT TV since winning the NXT title.
Mm-hmm.
That should be fun, because he doesn't come alone.
No.
It's going to be fun. So we are on to the main event, and tonight we have Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, hitherto now known as the Brit Am Bruisers.
Or Brit Am Brothers. It's all Brit Am. But at the same time, I like the Brit Am Bruisers the best.
I don't like it because Pete Dunne is the Bruiserweight.
Yeah.
I'd prefer if they called them the Brit Am Brawlers.
Yep. Oh, the Brit Am Brawlers I like.
Hopefully they make that change.
I like that Wayo too so much.
If the Bruiserweight thing wasn't around,
yeah,
then I'd be cool with that name. But Pete Dunne got it first. They can take Brawlers. So this match was a lot of striking.
Yep.
A lot of fucking just breaking the corners to come in. I mean, early on in this match, we saw a beginning of the match breakdown. All 4 men in the ring just battling it out. Somehow, Undisputed Era gets knocked to the outside.
Lorcan just goes flying
over the top rope, like a corkscrew crossbody across both of them. Like, I don't know. It looked like it started out as a crossbody, but somehow he ends up vertical.
It became like a fall off the stool, like just plop onto them.
Jump over the top rope, put some spin in put some English on you.
Yep.
And hope that they catch you before you knock your head onto the floor. That's what that was. I have no notes here until the end. And the end was kind of bullshit.
Yeah. Well, we have pretty much what we normally see out of the pairings. Pretty much, we see some spine buster and a gourd buster out of Roderick Strong. Kyle O'Reilly, we see a lot of kicks and strikes out of. Lorcan at the beginning was just chopping the hell out of O'Reilly.
Yeah, he was assaulting him.
I was about to say, like, kudos to O'Reilly for his performance at NXT TakeOver 25. The dude took like about 50% of the damage in that match, like from everybody else. And then, like, sure enough, Bobby Fish was out there for a brief period just to walk them out to the ring, but he's still in the sling from being injured at a house show just prior to that. Oddly enough, by Lorcan and Birch.
Yeah.
So, for that to happen, and he went back into the back, and sure enough, we got to see the headbutt out of Birch, which is always cool because it just looks.
I think we saw several headbutts.
Yeah, but
he loves that move.
There's that one that always just sends everybody just buckling, and that's what I caught. And I'm like, yay!
Oh, there was a moment in there where they were just trading strikes as tag teams. Just, I think Undisputed Era did punches at the same time, not dueling, but anyway, and then the Brit and Bruisers, they came back with punches at the same time, and then they started trading off and then trading strikes, and the very last one was Kyle O'Reilly. I think he hit a forearm while Roderick Strong hit a high knee onto one of the two bald guys.
It was Birch.
And then everybody was down, and the crowd was just clapping their heads off.
Yeah.
However that works.
That was actually a pretty decent crowd for like one that was kind of a one-off show.
But this was basically the last high point of the match because in the end, Jackson Riker comes out. I don't understand why. I guess maybe he takes exception to these two tag teams getting the main event as opposed to the tag team of the Forgotten Sons, Cutler and Blake.
Also, the fact that they've collectively kicked his ass for the past couple of weeks, beating him with the hell of ladders.
Or Lorcan and Birch have, but O'Reilly and Storm not really. But they're the ones that take the brunt of this because Roderick Strong, or not Storm, Strong. Roderick Strong gets sidetracked.
They're the ones that powerbombed the ladder onto him on the last on the Girl Home show. Because then they set up the ladder and actually went.
Oh, that's true. It was all of the Undisputed Era,
yeah.
So I guess he's got problems with all of them.
He's got beef with every tag team that's not the Forgotten Sons at this point.
Yeah. Why isn't he half of the tag team? Jeez.
Well, why is he not the tag team?
There's a better question. So Kyle O'Reilly gets knocked into Roderick Strong while he's distracted by Riker, who is just throwing around security and not the refs, but these security guys that are obviously training to be wrestlers. He's throwing them around, but somebody gets a roll-up on Kyle O'Reilly out of knocking him into Roderick Strong and sending Strong outside of the ring. 1, 2, 3, fruit roll-up for the victory. Lorcan and Birch, the Brit and Brawlers.
Lorcan and Birch, like, emerge victorious, look beaten like crap. Strong and O'Reilly are in the ring, pretty much looking dejected, and Jackson Riker is just staring.
Yeah, it's a weird way to end the show, but I think we've seen worse, but we've definitely seen better.
Yeah.
I kind of wish, we were hoping that the women's tag match wasn't going to end the show, but I kind of wish it had. Even though it had a fucky finish, it would have been cool to see all the women splitting out across the arena, brawling, as opposed to just the flat ending that we saw with this tag match.
I would have been okay with Kushida and Drew Gulak being fit.
Oh, of course you would.
Yeah. But like you said, like the match at least picked up towards the end, and there was the finish.
That's true. This match was fun for the most part as a match, but that finish was stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Honestly, it just doesn't make sense. I know that Jackson Riker has beef with all four of these guys, but why get involved in their tag match?
No idea.
And he really didn't do anything.
He just stood there.
He should have run into the ring, and while Lorcan and Birch were winded from the match, started beating the shit out of them.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of the main event. And here on the What's NXT, we rate the main event using the General's 5-star rating system. And where do you put this, Jerry?
Probably 2 3/4. There wasn't really a lot going on in this match, we hadn't seen before. And then for it to be more or less a throwaway match on a throwaway show, I couldn't really get into it too much. The crowd seemed pretty well into it, and then the finish, though the fact that we're not really expecting Lorcan and Birch to win for them to pull off the victory, that was pretty cool, but it wasn't enough to save the fact that the show wasn't kind of lackluster.
I'd be fine with the Brit-Am Brawlers getting the victory if it was a real victory, not a fucking fruit roll-up off of a making no sense Jackson Riker coming out and distracting everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where I stand on that. It's 2 3/4.
I'd give the match 2 3/4 because it was better than middle of the road. But with that ending, coming off, just this whole show to me seemed disappointing.
Yeah.
Because we know that last episode is supposed to be the disappointing show because that's all of the dark matches from NXT TakeOver. Somehow that was a better show.
This looked like it was pretty much, oh crap, we have put together a show real quick to tide people over because we're not going to be able to get back down from Connecticut back down to Full Sail in time to record another one just yet. And that's what I think we got here.
Planes are for, man.
Yeah.
So
that we end up getting that.
I'm going with 2.5.
2.5? Wow.
2.5. That's probably the lowest I've gone in a long, long time. But
yeah.
This just, on the back of a lackluster show, and I hate to call NXT lackluster, this show hopefully was better than their show.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do.
Which sucks. So I was so excited about this show.
Yes.
Because I was like, cool, 3 matches. Looks like it'd be 3 solid ones.
I was hoping to see Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir pull out their first tag team their first victories.
Even if it meant Shayna Baszler causing a distraction,
yes.
One of them needing to roll up
Any
Candace.
fucking thing. These two need a win.
Yes.
Holy crap! If anybody needs a win, it's these two. Even fucking Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams got 3 wins in a row.
Yeah.
And these two can't get a win. They are Shayna Baszler's number 2 and number 2.
Yeah.
You know? How are you supposed to build them as superstars, let alone a tag team, if they can't get a win? So, completely disappointed in this entire show. But again, hopefully ours was better. I guess that brings us to the end of this episode of What's NXT. Thank you for joining us. Please join us tomorrow for the NXT party. We'll be reviewing episode number 47. 47. I was counting down. I was like, what number sounds right? Yeah, 47 of NXT UK. I don't know who we're going to have as guests. We may not even have guests. Schedule change again. Now, Jerry is on my schedule. He gets to feel me and my pain. But it makes for better timing for doing the show, but it also makes it earlier again. So we don't know. We would actually like one of you to be our new guest on the NXT party. And if you'd like to be up on the big screen and join us and have a spot of NXT with us, you can find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter.
At NoDQGeneral, and also on my Facebook group Armbar, all capital, ARMBAR, exclamation point. Join us for wrestling discussions, memes, whatever. Whatever floats your boat. Just stay active.
Yep. You can find me on Instagram now at osborne.stefan, where I have way more followers than people that I follow, because I don't use Instagram. How do I have 50 followers when I don't use it? I don't even know if I have a profile picture, honestly.
They're probably Arabian folk that want your Bob and the Gene.
So if you like our video, please click the like button that is underneath me. And if you like all of our videos, do us a favor, do yourself a favor. Click the subscribe button that's over there underneath Jerry. And join us on Aftermatch Wrestling. That is our channel on YouTube. All one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch Wrestling. That is where you can find these videos first and in HD. And our goal is 100 subscribers to start going live. We found out we now have to have 1,000 subscribers to go live on our channel. Addendum, we can go live if we go live on No DQ. Greg Cherry is able to do it, and Aaron assures me that we should be able to do it as well.
All right.
So, we can make that promise that we can go live. We just have to do it on a different channel, and that's fine. These videos were always meant for NoDQ.com. We'll just end up having to save going live on our channel until we hit 1,000, but that gives us a new goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's all of the plugs. Is that all the plugs?
We can plug everybody else if you want, but go to nodq.com/shirts.
Oh yeah, support Noah Foster. That's Noah Foster 210 on YouTube. That's his channel. He does 205 Live Matters, and every week he reviews 205 Live. Yeah, great show. Most of the time he has guests, I believe, too. So
yeah,
look at everybody taking their cues.
I'm so proud of them.
I am so proud of them.
They do good.
So you can also support Cindy G on YouTube and her channel. She does reviews of a lot of indie shows. The stuff that we don't do, the stuff that's not NXT, 205 Live, or WWE. Cindy covers all of it.
She's on that New Japan stuff.
So find her at simply_C_OK on YouTube for her channel. Also our friend Colin Andrew, he's got a channel where he does the chopping block about once every week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Good show. His prediction videos are second to none.
Yes.
Seriously. If you go and see his last prediction video,
they last like 17 seconds.
Showdown. It's great. You can find him at Colin Space Andrew on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a few others. Find James Hebert on Weymouth Youth Wrestling. That's WEYMOUTH Youth Wrestling. That is his creator wrestler from a video game, but they actually put a lot of production into the storylines, and they do the voices, and it is actually really good. It's like they do their own show using a video game.
Yep.
And find Owen Finch at Fortune 44. It's his wrestling page. He's got a few other pages, but that's his wrestling page. That, I believe, is all the plugs.
Yep.
So for the General, Jerry Slaughter, I am the Wizard of No DQ, Stephen Osborne. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you in NXT time.